It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad. So even after watching this movie, you don't feel like it's the holiday season?
Honestly, I barely even consider this a Christmas movie.
It is a very unorthodox Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place during Christmas more so, right?
The beginning.
Yeah, just the end, and then afterwards it's just kind of like, yeah, the few weeks afterwards.
This is a 2-hour movie.
Yes.
An hour and 40 minutes of it is not on Christmas.
You're right. The first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes are on Christmas Day, and that's about it.
We go all the way to Valentine's Day, and then he makes a Halloween joke, which makes me think maybe in the script it was written to go even longer.
Wow. For some reason, because this is one of my favorite movies ever. I will easily say that.
Well, let's not get too crazy here.
Yeah.
Let's introduce ourselves and our friends and everything here.
Welcome the listeners to the show.
Hello, listeners.
Yes, welcome.
My name's Alejandro.
My name is Christian.
And this is ICBTB Podcast.
Also known as It Can't Be That Bad. For you first-time listeners, if you guys don't know what this is a bad movie podcast where we defend your favorite bad movies.
I don't even think this one is considered a bad movie.
I mean, critically, as we usually say, I think
Yeah.
it's like 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is right up our alley.
We have to look, but I know people like this movie. It's just, it came out at a tough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean it came out at a tough time? What does that mean?
Anything that came out around 2 years before after 9/11 just kind of got lost in its like.
And this is in New York too.
Yeah, it just kind of gets lost in the fuzz of like, we got bigger things to do here. And
You're
it's
right.
like, yeah. So that's unfortunate.
But this is Nicolas Cage prime time.
He's definitely doing a lot. Yeah.
And you were saying he looks good in this movie.
Very cut.
Which he does.
Very like I was really impressed by his like shoulder muscle.
You can tell a man is very confident. Like in this movie, when we see him living the bachelor life, he goes to sleep in black briefs, just real confident.
Skinny skivvies.
Very like almost Speedos, right?
Women's underwear.
Basically, yeah, it's very revealing.
I know. I've known girlfriends who've had bigger underwear than that.
And he's wearing it confidently.
Someone has to.
Good hairline on the best I've seen his hairline in a while, because I guess that goes with time when you have a Nicolas Cage hairline.
His hairline comes in and out because his hairline in like The Rock really bad, and that was way before this.
Maybe it's the way it was styled, because here he's like pretty handsome.
Depends on the hair and makeup people.
Did you like him in this movie?
I loved him in this movie.
I think he was, and also Téa Leoni as his counterpart.
Téa?
I think it has that apostrophe over the E, so I'm gonna say Téa.
But I don't know how that affects the E.
Yeah, no clue. I would say Téa.
Because it's not Spanish. It's not like Tia.
Téa Leoni. Well, I'm gonna stick with Téa.
I'm gonna call her Lady.
That's gonna be so ambiguous.
Well,
There's multiple women in this.
We watched the movie, guys, and this movie's called
The Family Man. So what are your memories with this movie? When did you first watch it? How often have you watched it? Did you watch it 20 times a year like I do? Do you consider it a staple in a Christmas catalog?
No, and no.
Okay.
I watched it actually not too long ago because it was on TV just back when I was still living with my parents. So at least 3, maybe 4 years ago now.
That sounds pretty long ago, man.
But I remember watching it and being like, "This is really good. Like this is Nick Cage at his Nick Cageiest.
Yeah.
Funny but not over the top. Subtle humor, witty humor, deep like meaningful scenes and themes throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
It kind of has like a brief like touch on angels and devils and maybe aliens.
Yeah, it's maybe aliens because his daughter.
They do bring up aliens quite a bit.
His daughter's so cute in this.
And from what I'm learning in school is in script writing, you don't put something in there unless it means something.
Unless there's some subtle mantra.
Unless there's something unless it has to do with it. So like the fact that the alien thing keeps coming up makes me think maybe, But,
well, let's get into it. Let's do the nitty gritty,
Okay.
and then we'll just hit it from beginning to end.
we'll hit it from the back.
That's fucking
We'll
disgusting,
hit it from the front first,
dude.
and then we'll go all the way through to the back.
This is a PG-13 movie.
It's
can't even
weird
say
that it
that.
comes in at PG-13, actually.
Yeah, because there's some
they're pushing
risque parts.
They're pushing it.
When Téa Leoni is like showering and really swinging that ass.
I mean, I was afraid she was going to drop something. You know what I mean?
I was like, whoa.
something might fall out, a rock.
I was afraid she was going to slip with those dance moves in that wet tub.
Gross, bro. We watched a movie called The Family Man. And it is rated PG-13 and was released in the year 2000. It has a runtime of... Oh, shit.
It's like 2 hours and 5 minutes.
I was just going to say that, but it's cut off here, so I can't see it.
Where's the
Anyways,
25 minutes.
it has a rating of 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb, a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 42% on TV Guide. Google, you want to guess?
I think 83% of Google users like this movie. It's for sure in the 80s.
Yeah?
It has to be 80s.
89.
89.
So almost
See?
not.
A lot of people agree with me that this movie's good.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay, good.
I think it's weird, and this movie also makes me think of a lot of things that kind of aren't super like in line with this movie. Again, like
What?
the aliens, angel, devil debate.
Yeah.
Also, like I briefly mentioned to you downstairs, like, so what happens to the other Nicolas Cage, like the guy whose life he swapped into?
Yeah.
What happened to that guy? And I'd like to imagine that he was put into rich Nicolas Cage's life, and I would love to see that movie.
I don't know. I don't want to see like this wholesome family man turn into this asshole bachelor.
Or would it be like an awkward, like imagine if you were a family man launched into that world, you wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah,
Like when
I'd
that-
be so confused. It would be
when
very
that girl
funny.
shows up on Christmas Day in her
be like,
lingerie,
"Where's Kate?"
You'd be like, I don't. You'd be doing the same thing, running downstairs, and people would be like, "Oh, good morning, Mr. Cage. Good morning, Mr. Cage." You'd be
Where's
like,
my wife
"Who
and
are you
kids?"
people.
Yeah, he'd be freaking out.
So I would like to see that movie.
That'd be funny.
I would like to be CGI animated now because Nicolas Cage is older. But we'll get to that.
We had that
Looking for an
technology.
investor. $300 million is needed. Synapses coming at you.
Right at you.
Jack's lavish, fast-paced lifestyle changes one Christmas night when he stumbles into a grocery store holdup and disarms the gunman. The next morning, he wakes up in bed lying next to Kate, his college sweetheart, that he left in order to pursue his career. And to his horrifying discovery, all of his former life no longer exists. As he stumbles through this alternate suburban universe, Jack finds himself at the crossroads where he must choose between his high-powered career and the woman he loves. This movie had a budget of $60 million. You want to guess how much this movie made back in its box office recoup?
I'm going to say $100 million. I think that it was very popular.
$124.7 million.
Nice, dude.
Yes.
Because Téa Leoni was very popular around this time as well with Spanglish, I believe, and with Bad Boys having come out 5 years prior, and that was like really the thing that.
That's right. That is her in Bad Boys.
Mm-hmm. And she was just like this. She has this perfect touch of wholesome yet sexy that I think was really perfect for the time, and she's still doing great right now.
And quirky. Like she has that
quirky.
kind of like, I don't know. And I also mentioned to you, her style of like broken-hearted woman is
Yeah.
the inhale woman.
Which works. As an engaged
she's great at
man
it. She's great
that
at
has
it.
been in fights, that kind of strategy coming from a woman
Well,
works for me. I
and
would
just
give
like
you the
said,
world.
it's really hard to be a yeller when you're inhaling that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
It's impossible.
And she
You can't even speak when you're inhaling.
no.
Try
I'm
it.
not even-
Hello, my name is Christian.
Hello, my name is Christian. I don't know. I
Doesn't
also said Christian.
doesn't work that way.
Anyways, Téa Leoni is killing it and way too sexy to be a mom of two.
She looks great. Homegirl's keeping it tight.
Too tight.
It's way too tight.
They're also way too lovey-dovey for being married for 13 years.
Well, Jeremy Piven does make it a point to say that every guy in the neighborhood is
Give their
jealous
left
of you.
nut, yeah.
Will give their left nut to be with a girl like Kate. And yeah, exactly so.
Real Jack clearly really loves her. And like that's evident based on what everybody's telling him. Like, you're acting really weird. But also, I think kind of what they're saying too when they tell him like you're acting weird, Jack, they're also being like, you're acting weird, Jack, because if you were even 1% less of that like fall in love, head over heels guy, we would all notice right away. And you've fallen like 600%. Like you're so far the opposite. And this movie really has me thinking about mental health.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll get there when we get there. Let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
So the movie opens up and introduces us to Jack Campbell, played by Nicolas Cage, who is this bachelor, aka president of a Wall Street company. He's a big shot.
he's a stockbroker.
He's
the
a
president
stockbroker.
of a stock firm that's making like one of the biggest mergers ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if companies were making $130 billion mergers in 2000. I wonder if they picked that number just so everyone would be like, ain't that a ridiculous large sum of money? Now it's like, oh, that happens all the time.
Let's actually take it a few steps back. This movie opens up 13 years prior
Yes.
to the present.
And so that part I didn't remember.
Yes.
So I'm glad upon the rewatch that I saw that again because that does really make a really poignant point. Say the goodbye at an airport,
Yeah.
never knowing if you're ever going to see somebody again, is a really intense theme that they can play on. And it is a very intense moment, especially for a lot of people who have to go through that moment where you say goodbye to somebody and you don't know if you'll ever see them again. It's really intense. And I think what this movie plays off really well is being like, it's this moment right here. that
Yeah.
diverges.
Yes.
And we're not going to talk about any of the other decisions or choices that they make. We're going to talk about this one right here and what the difference is and what happens.
Yeah. So, Kate's character is going to go to law school. She's going to stay in New Jersey,
America,
New
yeah.
York, I think, for law
She goes
school.
to NYU, yeah.
And then Jack is going to get on the plane to go to London
To work
for an
for
internship.
Barclays.
Yep.
Yes.
Which is a big deal. And at the beginning of the movie, Kate makes it a point to say, I have a really bad feeling about this. Like, whatever you do, don't. And it's like,
She puts her heart out there.
she really does, which is like brave, but like realistically speaking, a lot of like, I think nowadays it's like support your partner in all of their endeavors, even if it can mean like you guys don't end up together. Which right is the argument here, but she like throws her heart out there. She says, "Just stay here with me. I choose us," is what she says at the beginning of the movie, which comes back later.
It's very poignant what she says in the beginning because it's mirrored with what he says at the end.
And then he hugs her, and she thinks that she keeps
Yes.
him to stay, has him to keeps him from leaving.
I thought that was actually kind of fucked up a little bit.
And he
although
says-
he doesn't say anything until after the hug. So he's like, we have to have this moment
Yeah,
because she breaks down when he says, you know,
a
I'm going.
year's not gonna keep us like it's just
It's
a
not
year
going to
in
change
London.
anything.
And it changes.
Of
everything.
course it does. The 2 minutes after you get onto that plane, everything changes.
That's it. So like it
I've
shoots.
said goodbye to people at the airport. It hurts.
I know my brother has too, and I know a lot of people that going to the airport is a very, it's a very triggering place.
I have such a tough time going through security at Oakland Airport. That's why, like, I have to have music playing, and I have to be like thinking of something else completely. And like, you know, I don't think Karen knew that until now when she's probably listening to this. But like, that's why I have to listen to my fucking music because I hate that place.
You have to distract yourself. It is a very bittersweet place, right?
Yes,
A
it's a
place where
horrible
you,
place to say goodbye to somebody.
a place to say goodbye to your loved ones, but also say hello if they're coming from another place, right?
You know what? There you go.
I'm trying to be an optimist.
There's the
I
Christian.
got you, dude.
So they do say goodbye, and he leaves, and we pick back up 13 years later, and Nick Cage is living an awesome life.
Yeah, he's
And-
the guy.
And we find out later that so is Tia Leone.
Yes.
She's also living a great life. Again, they made it. This movie's not about right or wrong decisions. It's just about the differences
Yeah.
that can come of it, right? Because they even talk about how, like, well, yeah, some things are good and some things are bad, but just like in my normal life, some things are good and some things are bad. And it's like,
All he knows is what he knows in that universe.
Yes.
He loves being rich. He loves being able to ask for anything, and it's brought to him.
yeah, he's worked his way up to the top of this firm. He's the president. He's making these billion-dollar deals.
Yeah.
And he, you know,
Sleeping with supermodels.
driving a Ferrari.
Yeah, he's living
I
that
mean,
life.
Lives in a penthouse. He's Bruce Wayne.
Basically, dude. And
Self-made Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. This movie alludes to two films, you know, A Christmas Carol, with having him being kind of like a Scrooge character who works all the time and doesn't care about the holidays and is focused on money and focused on himself. And then, of course, the other one that it's a big, heavy influence from is It's a Wonderful Life. The whole idea of like going back and seeing what difference it would be. Like if I could go back and change this, what would happen to the world and the people that I know and I influence with. So when we have this quick explanation to where he is in his life, they show us all of the high points real quick. He's got a huge closet, he's got all the clothes, he's got all of the cars, he's got all the girls, he's got all the money, he's got everything that people want. But then we find out pretty quickly, like, but as great as that seems, there is this thing that's missing. And even he doesn't even know it. That's one thing that I love about this film is it's not so much of it being like, look at this character who wished he had made this decision. He doesn't wish he made that decision. He didn't want to make that decision. He's happy in the life that he has. So when he has that run-in with Don Cheadle in the beginning, and he's forced back to, you know, go back and do all these things, he is so scared. It's because he didn't want that. It's not until he really sees what it's like. It's not a grass is greener on the other side of the fence sort of thing. It's what, you know,
he doesn't even know it existed.
Exactly.
That hypothetical.
because he's happy in his life.
Which is where Don Cheadle, and like I don't know, Don Cheadle is this angel. He does,
or devil.
we don't know who he is, but he's this guy that gives Nicolas Cage a glimpse, and it's all because
Or
Nicolas
alien.
Cage found an opportunity in this very materialistic lifestyle. He found this opportunity to help someone. He saw that Don Cheadle's character had pulled a gun on a supermarket owner.
On Ken Leung.
Who's that?
That guy's in a bunch of stuff. He was in Lost and stuff.
Is he really?
He was also in Rush Hour.
Did not. I don't know.
He's in the first Rush Hour.
Really?
He's
As
one of
who?
he's one of the like the guy who makes the call. The guy who
Really?
like does the kidnapping.
That's him.
The one who gets hit and scraped and has the scar.
Stop.
Yes, sir.
Did not
Yes,
realize
sir.
that. Well, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. So he is trying to scam him. Maybe, maybe not.
We don't know. It's a lottery ticket. He
probably
said
is.
it's real, though. He did
It's
say
probably a
it's
scam, though. Nobody wins the lottery, Christian. Read 1984.
real. Okay, my bad.
And then he pulls a gun on the guy, and then but there's a lady with the baby in there
Who screams?
who gets scared, and so Nicolas Cage steps up and like puts himself in between the lady and the baby, and is like, "Hey, how about this? How about I buy the ticket from you for $200, and then we just call it. You just leave, and just nobody does anything." And it's very noble.
Yep. And then so they both walk outside. Nicolas Cage is trying to talk to Don Cheadle.
I do love early 2000s gangster Don Cheadle.
Oh, he's dope.
With the
man.
one leg rolled up. I missed the one pant leg rolled up look. Do you remember that?
Well, that on top of having the visor turned backwards with a cigar, just like tucked in front of his ear.
Not a Swisher Sweet or something like that.
No, it's something
like
a little thicker.
A fat cigar he had right there. It's like, I don't know if they knew what they were doing exactly.
Don Cheadle has like a great range, man.
Oh, he's so good.
So good to play someone
so
like
young
like
in
that.
2000.
Yeah.
So he meets gangster Don Cheadle, and then he's like, I'm going to give you a glimpse at the life that you never had. Boom. Wakes up.
And this is really where the movie picks up
Yeah.
because he wakes up and he sees that Kate is on him, and he's like, "Oh my college sweetheart is on me." Sees that he has two loud kids. He's waking up to a dog. He's like,
The alarms go off. It's Christmas Day.
"Yup." Runs into Kate's parents, Ed and Lorraine.
Who I also think are maybe Ed and Lorraine Warren from the Conjuring series.
I knew that. Yeah, it's very uncanny that that's their names. I really was thinking that.
Thank you. So he does, and I also just want to say this because this is another thing that comes up to me: the mental break that Tia Leone watches happen to the love of her life, a man that she's known for 20 plus years, has had children with, slept with, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mental break that he has, I almost feel like she underreacts to it.
Everyone's underreacting to how weird
Because, like I
Nicolas
said,
Cage is acting.
they also, like I said earlier, they make a point to be like, if you were 1% different, we'd all notice. But he is like 1,000% different. So everybody,
Everyone's reacting
loony
in
bin.
this sense.
They should be sending him to the loony bin
They should.
immediately.
Well, because they're underreacting in the sense by saying like, that's funny, man. Because he comes into like his office that he's worked at for years. He's like, I have my own office here. And they're like, oh, that's funny, Mr. Campbell.
Like, as if that's a joke he does regularly, which would not be a joke that he does regularly.
No. But a beautiful thing about this movie is seeing him slowly pick up the pieces as to like, wow, I am capable of being this, of loving this life and loving this version of myself.
Or seeing the happiness and the importance of having a life like this, right?
Well, because it's that contrast that we see that he loves his Ferrari. He loves his freedom. He loves his wealth. But here he's starting to love his daughter. He loves his son. He's loving his job.
And when he wakes up that day, he hops in his minivan and drives to his apartment building or his penthouse.
And no one recognizes him.
Of course, because he doesn't exist there. He's not the president of the company. He doesn't work in New York. He works,
and he doesn't believe it until he looks at this sign in the side of the building that shows the positions of everyone's name.
And in fact, the person he hates, his little subordinate, is now the president.
Alan Mintz. And I don't think he hates him. I just know that is his subordinate, and he is surprised that he's the president of the company.
And essentially Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And I think he doesn't even believe it then. He doesn't even really believe it until after he goes on the Ferrari ride with Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Which that's also a weird point. How come Don Cheadle's driving his Ferrari? So is Don Cheadle living his life? Does Don Cheadle live in that building now?
No, I think he's just rubbing it in his face. It's possible.
It's so weird. How does he have so much power? He's a genie.
He's an angel, dude. He's something,
an angel.
Something not of that world. So
he's not of this world. Remember that store company, that brand?
Not
of this world.
That's a throwback. Yeah.
Used to see people wear that shit all the time. Did you ever wear that?
I had one thing from there.
Really?
I had a beanie that I wore once.
Then
I was like, I don't wear beanies.
Did you lose it? Or is it like?
No, I purposely put it away because I was like, I don't look good in this.
As a kid, if I had a one-off like that, I would take it off one day and then like forget it and be like, it's okay. I never liked it anyway.
I spent $10 and I was like, I wish I had those $10 back.
The first person to realize that Nicolas Cage is acting weird is his daughter.
I really like her and how good of an act. I think she's such a good child actress, and like how she's able to clock in like, you're not my dad. And like she pulls up this stool and walks up to him and like is touching his nose and like grabbing his cheeks and like just saying like, wow, they did a good job. And he's like, who did a good job? The aliens.
Again, wouldn't be put in the script unless it meant something.
I don't know, man.
Because she's adamant that it's aliens. She convinces him that it's aliens.
I mean,
maybe Don Cheadle is an alien who's come down to Earth, and the way that we know he's abducting him, Snowfall.
No, I'm gonna I don't want to entertain this alien thing in this beautiful rom-com.
Aliens are beautiful.
No, but you know what I mean. This is like a whole, I think it's adorable.
It's just as silly as angels. In my book.
No, I don't know. I don't want to get too lost in this whole Don Cheadle being an angel, demon, or alien thing.
Yes, yeah, that I will leave it at that because, as you can clearly tell, that was a big stick in my butt.
I can see, but it's not big. Okay, yeah, big stick in your butt.
I didn't mean to say that either. So she's like, yeah, so they did a good job replacing you. I know you're not him. And they have this cute interaction that I really like when he kind of like has to ask her, like, what is it that I do? Like, what do I do for work? Where do I normally
It's
go?
so funny because she is helping him along the way.
Yeah. She's cool with it. She's like, hey, that's fine. My dad will be back eventually.
She's trying to like, do you know how to make chocolate milk? And then when he drops her off for school, she's like, I have after school program at 4 and I have ballet at 5:30. Don't be late because kids don't want to be the last one to get picked up. And he's like, where do I go now? He's like, you go to Big Ed's Tires. He's like, for what?
Why?
You work there. He's like, I work there? Why do I work there? She's like, I don't know. And he just walks away. He's like, what the fuck?
I'm a tire salesman.
Yes.
He's so mad that he's a tire salesman.
And is mad specifically at the fact that it's for retail.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't own Midas. You know what I mean? No, he's a salesman at his wife's father's tire shop.
Yeah. Like I said, this movie is so charming in the sense that he's slowly just kind of figuring it out and slowly becoming okay with who he is.
And finding the happiness in that lifestyle and
Yeah.
the choices that Jack had made and is happy and living the best life that he has.
Yeah.
As opposed to what he thinks is the best life he could possibly have, which is being rich and banging models and driving a Ferrari.
Yeah, and like one of the first things where he discovers about this life is one of his best friends is Jeremy Piven.
Which is hilarious.
He does a fantastic job as this neighbor, and they're just bros.
Well, because he's driving home, and all he knows how to get home is by the address.
Yeah.
Right? So he like pulls up and he's like, excuse me, is this Munson Street? And they're like, ha, 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 you're so funny, Jack.
Hey, bud. Yeah, come in. And so they have like this
Wow.
man cave. Thank you. Jeremy Piven has this like man cave, and he has like a new like lazy boy couch in
He's
there.
it's a Barca lounger.
He's so proud of it. He's like,
I know. I moved it. It's throwing everybody off.
yeah, we know how to live, don't we? And he has like his own little bar and whatnot. And he even like you're looking at pictures at the bar of like it's them two together. He's like, we're friends.
He's pissed.
Yeah,
He's pissed that is his friend.
yeah, that's who he goes to.
Although I don't think he has a lot of friends in rich life.
No, and I think that's the contrast.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that there's so many people here. Like you see a lot of like his entire bowling team because he's part of a bowling league
He is.
sponsored by Big Ed's.
Of course.
And like you see how much these people actually really love him, and he sees it not only in face-to-face interactions, but like the VHS tapes.
Yes.
And we see it when he goes to a Christmas party, and like he has this group of friends, and there's this like his neighbor girl. This neighbor girl's like weirdly
Super
hitting
into
on
him.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not weirdly. She wants it.
She's throwing herself at him,
But
and
they
he's so
don't-
oblivious.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's oblivious at first, but he's focused on trying to figure out the other things.
You're right.
And then once he has 80% of it all in place, then he's like, hey, are we doing? Is there something going on here? Because like I know I just showed up and everything, but it seems like we might have something going on. And she's like, I've been waiting for you.
It's
to
honestly
say
really
this."
good acting on her end, in my opinion, because she's
Although every night that weekend that her husband and kids weren't home, she was like sleeping in her bed like this the whole time, just waiting for him to come in, and he never did. And she was just like,
well.
I'm such a silly idiot.
Do you remember the home video that we're watching when he sings to Kate for her birthday?
Yes, the Delphonic song.
Yeah, the person that's in the back is that girl, is the neighbor, and you see how pissed she looks that she's saying like, "Oh, you're singing to the wrong girl, Jack. That should have been me."
She's like Jackie O when Marilyn Monroe was singing to John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, fucking pissed. It makes sense, right?
Yeah, that should be for me.
And the entire time she's committed to this character, even though she's just in the background. She's like, "Yeah, fuck you, Kate."
I honestly did get her and the slut that he does sleep with kind of mixed up because
In the beginning?
they do look a little similar.
I wouldn't call her a slut. I think that she is her own woman and is attracted to Jack for
Hey,
various reasons.
Get it, girl. Get it.
Also, do you know where
that's
she's
like
from?
Empowering slut. I don't know. Grey's Anatomy.
No, she's from Hitch. She is the person that Kevin James is trying to woo.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's who it is. That's who he does the Q-tip dance for. In the
Oh my God, she's a blonde.
She is a blonde,
I was thinking
man.
she was what's her name's friend, the redhead friend, and I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. But now you're right.
The redhead is
fake
the neighbor.
Cameron Diaz. Mm-hmm. Yes.
She is her own person, not trying to be Cameron Diaz.
She's fake Cameron Diaz.
I think she's her own actress.
The character she's playing is Cameron Diaz.
Okay.
Okay.
You're entitled to your own opinion.
I am right.
Whatever you say, Bucko.
I am right.
Whatever
I do
you say,
also want to
Bucko.
say, because I'm talking about things that I'm right about, this film needs 10 more farts. This film needed a couple more farts added in.
For the listeners out there, we watched the last 50 minutes with Melissa because she hadn't gotten to finish it, and we made the mistake of letting Alejandra watch it with us and ruined so many of the best moments.
The mistake wasn't letting me watch it with you. The mistake was giving me coffee on top of the yerba mate that I had just drank.
You're an adult. You can hold yourself in from fart jokes, from
I'm just
caffeine.
saying, no, man. I can't hold him in. Farts or fart jokes.
I'm never giving you coffee ever again. I'm never watching a movie with you. I'll talk about movies with you after the fact, but I'm not bringing it to a movie theater. I'm not letting you watch movies with me in the
There
living
was
room.
one good one that I was like, "Brr," and you did kind of chuckle because it would have been funny in that moment.
I'm upset
there
nonetheless.
was one that you did chuckle at.
Let's move on.
Okay.
So,
So he's figuring out the life. He's starting to like being a tire salesman, and we're maybe like mid-January now in the timeline of this film. Right, wouldn't you say?
I don't know exactly where the timeline would be, but yeah, he's figuring it out. And I think one of the most touching moments is when he starts to re-fall in love with Kate. Because when we slowly see it, like, so it's like the shower scene where he's like, oh, that's right, I find you very physically attractive. Like, oh, like he can't stop staring at her, and it's bothering. It's weird to him that, like, this is my ex-girlfriend 13 years ago, and she's just so comfortable with me.
Well, because they've been married for 13 years in this world. And
Yes.
she's like, yeah, what do you want?
And then the next time is where she's like, the kids are asleep. Oh my God, thank God the kids are asleep. And she's in the bedroom and she's like taking off her shoes, taking off his socks. He's like, leave me alone. What are you doing?
Leave my socks alone.
And it's not until they're like actually like getting intimate where he really looks at her. He says, dear God, you're beautiful. And she's like confused because like, what? You see me every fucking day.
No, she asks, she's like, how do you do it?
And he's like, how do you do what?
How do you act like it's the first time you've seen me every day?
How do you look at me like you haven't seen me in years?
And the joke is he hasn't seen her in 13 years.
And it's such a beautiful moment, and he's just enamored at like, why would this is when he's starting to realize that like, why did I ever leave you? Like, I'm such a dumb guy for having ever left you.
He's starting to second guess if the life he had is as great as he thinks it is.
Yeah, it's when he's having that internal conflict finally, right? He's understanding like, oh, you are my person. And it sucks because she's like, oh my God. And like, let me go get pampered up. She's like making sure her boobs look good in the lingerie in the bathroom. And she comes back out and he's asleep.
Now, did he go to sleep?
Nope. He didn't.
I
Because the
think he
camera
did.
pans to him.
Yeah, and he's
And
already
he opens
asleep.
his eyes.
Oh.
He opens
that's
his
right,
eyes.
That's right.
And so I don't know what you think. But
He's faking it because he's still not comfortable. He still doesn't know what's going on yet.
I don't think he feels right.
Yeah.
I think that if he were to have sex with her right there and then, it would be so. It wouldn't be it.
It's still like a dream to him right now, right? It's still like a weird. He doesn't understand what's happening yet. That's why I think he didn't go through with it because he's scared, right? We're scared of things that we don't understand. He doesn't understand why he's here, what's happened to his past life. Why is she so on top of me and in love with me, right? When it's been 13 years, but it really hasn't been. And
Yeah.
So they have, and you can see the difference between that and when he comes back and they have the cake scene, because by that point he now understands the love that Jack has for this woman and can understand why he would be in love with her too. So now he's falling in love with her again, and they're having this kind of like coy, cute little battle back and forth about the cake that turns into like a really intimate
Moment.
like beautiful moment. That is just,
I know, why I think that moment's even better is because prior to that, they had their first really big conflict, at least, in his eyes. But he was freaking out about not being able to buy this $2,400 suit at the mall.
I thought you were talking about the cake at first, and I was like, I don't think that was that big of a deal.
He was really pissed off about her eating the cake.
I forgot about the suit. You're right. He tries on a suit that's $2,400.
He's like, you know what? It's crazy how a suit could actually make you feel like a better person. And she's like, stop it, Jack. All right. And he's like, I'll get it. And she looks at the price tag and it's $2,400.
Nope.
And he's like, how come my daughter gets to have those $26 shoes and I can't get the suit?
It's not even that. He's like, she got new shoes. It's like, they're $27.
It is great. It is great how ridiculous it sounds in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Even the suit salesman's like,
he walks
gonna
away.
go.
Yeah, you see him walk away, and like they clear out that store because also later on when they do a long shot of Tia Leone and the kids, there's people in the background who are getting up and leaving also. So they make the entire store uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're just like, these two white people.
And her response is like, "Let's just get you a funnel cake, babe."
He's like, yes, let's get a funnel cake. It'll be the highlight of my week.
He's so mad if that was like my significant other's response being like, let's just get you a funnel cake and shut the fuck up.
But honestly, depending on what kind, it seems like
If it's that good.
a funnel cake in the past has pacified Nicolas Cage.
But if it's the funnel cake that he wants, why is it chocolate cake that he saved from the mall?
I think he just got a shit ton of stuff from the food court because he couldn't get
To
a
make up
2400.
for it.
Exactly.
Wow, you're smart.
I've seen this movie so many times.
have.
Also, I used to be fat, so I know what food can do in a medicinal, therapeutic fashion.
Oh, we know, buddy.
Yeah. But the cake thing, let's go back to the cake thing. He says that, I was saving that slice of cake to help relieve me from the nauseating, preheated rotisserie chicken we got from the mall. And this is when they had this cute, like, she is the perfect wife in my eyes.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
I like how, like, she can't stay mad for that long, but makes it a point to, like, hey, you did something wrong in my book. But she's still playful. She's just like, no, I'm not going to give you this cake. It's too important to me. Like how he was talking about the suit. And then he starts running away with it. And they start playing. Do you remember how when he pops out, what he says? He's like, ta-da! Out of the corner. And, like, surprises the shit out of her.
Because she went around the long way and he took the shortcut.
Yeah, so cute. And then they start, like, just fighting on the not fighting.
Yeah, they're punching each other in the face. Blood.
It turns into a
splatters the
Mr. and
wall.
Mrs. Smith situation.
Ooh,
Crazy.
That would be nice.
But you made it a point to say, did it make you mad when she got chocolate cake all over his shirt?
She's rubbing cake into his bowling shirt.
I agree that it makes me mad because it's a nice bowling shirt.
And that cake was like 3 layers of frosting.
It's thick. That's going to ruin the washer.
It's destroyed. The shirt's ruined.
It's done for.
And probably the carpet that's on the stairs. Mm-hmm. And also, you know what else is done for? The night. The night's ruined because she asks him to say the thing that I like to hear.
She's like, say it to me, Jack. You know what I like to hear.
He's like, I'm gonna wipe my penis on your nose and make you smell my other girl's stuff.
Spits on her face. Choked her. But what he really does say, and it's not made up, he says, and it's very early 2000s if you're dirty talk like this. You're a bad girl, baby. You make me so hot.
And then she's like, ew. And she like leaves and he's like, what?
You make me hot.
That's
nice
not
one,
the
Jack.
problem, Nicolas Cage. That's not the problem.
He doesn't know what she wants to hear.
Ugh.
Even I knew what you should say. She wants to hear that you love her.
What would you say in the moment?
I love you. I fucking love you.
Oh, I'd say, let's get off the stairs.
How's your back?
I'm very conscious of the, yeah.
Can we wash my shirt?
Oh, that really would be what let me change first.
Yeah. Also, they make out with chocolate cake.
Not
Have you
fun.
done something like that?
I mean, I've had food in the bedroom before.
I just don't want to be swapping spit and food at the same time.
I mean, that's one of my main rules, but whipped cream is different.
Yeah. What there? No, that was thick chocolate. Oh, you're saying.
I'm against, yes. Yeah, yeah. I'm against the chocolate cake. I think that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because first of all, don't waste that slice of cake like
Honestly, if you're doing cake, it should be like an angel food cake. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that. Honestly, let's just.
Whipped cream and berries. That's the most you should be doing when it comes to food and sex.
Yeah. Or just sharing utensils and let's do the sexy time after the food.
Well, that's different. I'm saying, yeah. Yes, I agree with you.
Thank you. That's all I asked for.
So they do have a rough time because Tia Leone does struggle with realizing that this isn't the man that she's been with for 13 years. Suddenly it is a completely different man that she's being here. He doesn't know anything about her. He's acting really weird. Mm-hmm. The children aren't comfortable around him. She should have packed up the kids and left.
Dude, they straight up like, do you think, no, being married for 13 years, I think your threshold of how much shit you could put up with, it's higher.
I agree. But he has not just changed a little bit. This isn't
drastically.
This isn't like a slow decline of like, this is like such a quick, this is Family Annihilator level switch where he's just like, I don't know how to handle this. I'm going to have to kill my wife and kids.
You're right. Him disappearing on Christmas Day, that's a big red flag.
That's yeah.
Like he missed pancakes.
Yes.
He missed Annie opening up her bike.
He spent 6 weeks putting that bike together.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to see her look at it.
It's not 6 weeks. This guy's not putting in one screw and then calling it a day. 6 hours is what it says in the fucking movie. 6 weeks.
6 months he worked on this bike.
Years.
6 decades he worked on this
6
bike.
lifetimes.
600 light years.
This bike better be fucking incredible.
It actually doesn't have a chain, so he forgot that part.
He did. So this ringing the little bike bell
Yes.
that Don Cheadle gives him,
Yes.
that summons Don Cheadle.
Which is weird that he lets the little girl keep it.
That's so much power in her hands.
Because she rings it nonchalantly.
Because if she did not ring it nonchalantly toward the end of the movie, he'd still be living this life.
So like I said, this movie also has tastes of Rick and Morty in it, specifically the Vat of Acid episode.
Yep.
Because that little girl rings the bell so nonchalantly, just like Jerry, just pushes the button and
Yep.
restarts Morty's whole life.
Ruins his timeline right there.
Yes.
Oh, God. But in all seriousness, heartbreaking when he finds out, like, fuck, I gotta go back.
Well, it's just a glimpse, buddy.
Yeah.
That's the nature
By
of a glimpse.
definition, a glimpse is impermanent, is what he says.
The goodbyes that he has is very touching. That is a very intense moment. The goodbyes he has to the children.
Yeah.
And when he goes and says goodbye to Tia Leone.
Heartbreaking. Well, because he sits there. He doesn't even like get into bed with Tia Leone. He sits on the chair inside of the bedroom and just like looks at her.
Fully clothed,
Yeah.
shoes on.
Fighting sleep as if he was in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
He is just red flag after red flag after red flag. Because what he is,
He looks like someone that's gonna fucking
gonna kill himself.
destroy the town.
Or the family. Like, I'm serious. And this movie is very short from him walking out after that conversation and just like lighting the whole house on fire with them inside still.
Kate is kind of like very weird.
She's just like, okay, babe. Again, she's so silly.
It's just like, is everything okay?
And he's like, yeah, I'm
You
fine.
sure?
She's like, okay. He said he's fine.
And it goes back to
He said
reading her
he's fine.
book. Goes back to reading her book like nothing ever
It was
happened.
50 Shades of Grey. I don't blame her.
Oh, she was trying to get in the mood.
She's a mom.
Speaking of getting in the mood, he misses her anniversary. He forgets their anniversary.
Which again is such a weird thing because he loves her so much. He is so in love. The real Jack in that universe is so fucking in love with her that would never. He would be planning the anniversary for months. That one he'd be doing 6 weeks in advance.
Well, that Jack is so different because we see it in the home video where he's singing Delphonics to her. He's like, he's way more theatrical than Bachelor Jack is, right?
Well, but Bachelor Jack is also singing too.
Oh, he's singing
Bachelor
like
Jack is also singing
opera.
So like that is at the end of the day, that's Jack.
But it's not.
Jack's
yes,
a singer.
There's
You know what I
something
mean?
in there.
So-
Nicolas Cage himself is a pretty good singer,
I
man.
want you to make this movie, but again, from the other side of it. Like, you lived the 13 years as the good
I could play
father.
that part.
I would love to see it. Like,
Well, that's taking me
come on,
now.
Christian, we have to take you to the strip club. And you're like, what?
Oh yeah, it's
Even
me
though
sitting in the
real
strip club.
Christian is really actually good at strip clubs, I can imagine. But like in this movie, you wouldn't be.
What did it? Wait, let's take it back. What do you mean real Christian is good at strip clubs?
I'm sure you have more strip club hours than I do.
Oh, hours? I don't know. If we're
Like,
are
if
we
we're doing,
counting
like,
GTA?
If we're doing flight, no, that's a video game. If we're doing like flight hour standards, you're a pilot. I can just take Cessnas. You're 707.
I'm pretty wholesome in the strip club though.
I bet you are. Thank you, miss. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, I'm so polite,
Yeah.
and I just watch from like afar, and I compliment their technique.
Oh, I like to crumple up the hundreds or the hundreds.
I know.
I wish. I like to crumple
know
up
you
the
crumple
ones
them up.
and throw them out.
Yeah. Last time I was at the strip club, I had a cigar stub in my mouth. I was just throwing
Again.
ones. Thank you. Bow down.
707
Bow
pilot.
down.
Cessna pilot.
But yeah, so he forgets the anniversary, and you can tell that he's such a good husband, such a loving husband, because she's so excited. She's like, I don't know what kind of stunt you have prepared for me, Jack, but I'm ready for it. And she's so giddy, waiting for a present. And
He's
it's
like,
heartbreaking.
He's like, well, you're going to have to wait until tonight. And then again, another red flag. She goes, you could have, like, normally you can't even wait for the sun to come up.
Yep.
What do you mean I have to wait until tonight? Again, red flag after red flag after red flag. Tia Leone should have packed up the car, put the kids in there, and moved far fucking away from this man who is 1 minute away from annihilating his family, Chris Benoit style.
She is not dealing with a Chris Benoit.
She is kind of.
She just loves him that much. She's willing to like figure it out.
I bet you that's what Chris Benoit's wife said.
That's so scary, and I feel bad. Rest in peace to the Benoit family.
Yeah, honestly though. Yeah.
But her acting chops fantastic because you see her level of excitement go from 100 to 0.
Dude, Tia Leone plays heartbreak better than anyone.
So I don't ever
Like
want to.
heart shattering, because she gets the red nose and the like the wet eyes, and it's all.
Oh, her beautiful blue eyes. I just cannot ever hurt those kind eyes. Come here.
Why were you so much more brutal? Give me the cake.
Come here. You fucking ate my cake.
One at a time to really prove a message.
This movie makes me a better person. It truly did make. I'm going to be honest. Cried 3 times watching this movie.
Oh, buddy.
And I've seen this movie a numerous amount of times.
I think I might have, but I had a pretty good cry session the other day, so I was.
Oh, you got it out of your system.
Yeah.
What parts of this movie did you cry at?
When she rubbed the chocolate cake on the back of his shirt.
My linen, my cloth.
That is a polyester shirt. No. The daughter, when she was like, "I knew you'd be back." Yeah. And then I did have tears of frustration at the end, but we'll get there.
We'll definitely get there.
Because I'm furious at the end. I'm so mad.
It's
infuriating.
Controversial.
Because the whole film's so great.
Save it. We're gonna get there. And we'll have a big blowout at the end.
You're gonna kick me out of your house.
We'll see. So I first cried when he first
You were born.
realized No, I came out silent, dude.
I heard you came out dick first.
Yeah, it's
That's what I
crazy.
thought.
It's that big. That was the only thing that could come out first.
Good way to break your back.
Doctor was embarrassed. He was like, "This isn't. Fuck it. We're getting lost in that." So I cried when he said, "Wow, God, you're beautiful." And she says, "How do you do that? How do you look at me like you haven't seen me in 13 years?" First cry sesh. Second cry sesh.
Such a wholesome boy.
It's so good.
You're so
Second
cute.
cry sesh occurred when he makes it up to her, and it was at the
When they're
anniversary.
dancing in the restaurant.
He says, "You want to dance right now?"
That's good. That's good
She's like,
stuff.
"No, I don't think there's dancing here." He says, like, "Whatever." And they dance and they go back to the hotel.
That's good stuff.
And he says, after all of these years, I've never stopped falling in love with you. And she says, "That's all I ever wanted to hear, Jack." Second cry sesh. Big cry sesh. Dehydrated afterwards, if anything.
Because you were jerking off?
That's right, man. How'd you know?
Because I was too.
Whoa. Third cry sesh happened when, yes, like you said, when Annie says, "I knew you'd come back."
Back. Yeah.
Because that means like he became that person that Don Cheadle wanted him to be in that life.
And you know what? I myself in my real life am getting a little bit softer with kids. I'm starting to like little girls a little bit more. I know that's a weird way to say that, but like I'm enjoying like talking to. Just this past weekend, my brother was over, so my niece is here, and he had brought some friends over, one of whom has 2 little girls, and they're running around and playing, and at that age when they're like between 6 and 7, before they really get an attitude on them, and they're just like missing teeth and shit like that. It's just like drink your chocolate milk.
I just wish kids would come out the age that Annie was in this movie.
I just wish years weren't as long, because I want to spend a little bit of time with a baby, but I don't want a baby for 3 years. You know what I mean? I don't want to be doing diapers for 3, and then I don't want to deal with like teenage years for 8 years or whatever.
I wish there was like a remote control that we had.
Just ship them off and have them come back older.
Well, you don't have to ship them off. I wish like
put them through a portal and have them come back out older.
You're like, no, this is why I'm saying
Dip
a
them in
remote
a vat
control.
of acid and have them come out older.
They'll just die.
Not that kind of acid, old acid.
I'm saying a remote control where like using like a volume button, you can choose what age they could be at.
And then you could go back.
Be like, man,
I miss the babies.
How much of a baby?
No, I'm just saying like.
Oh, in general. Yeah. Hypothetically.
Yeah. I don't want you to go to prom tonight. Tonight you're a baby.
You're a fucking infant. We're destroying lives of children.
This is why we can't be Don Cheadle's character.
No, not at all.
So he does have to go back though.
Yeah.
And he wakes up in his penthouse and again is now unsure if this is what happiness is, right? Because he gets the call from work. He goes to try and find the home that they lived in. Of course, nobody lives there. It's a completely different family. It's a completely different story. He gets back to work. Everybody's kind of trying to, now they're worried about him because he's not, dressed in his suit, ready to kill like he normally is.
Yeah.
He's kind of making it up as he goes. Yet, it's still kind of like messing with Alan, being like, you could be a lot tougher.
Oh, his interaction with Alan is interesting.
It's like a big brother.
Yeah, because when he saw Alan
Mentorship.
become very aggressive,
He loved it.
in the other life, he was like, Alan!
Because when they have their tit for tat
Yeah.
in the office, he is like, he's good.
He's challenged.
He's assertive.
because he found respect in Alan.
Yeah.
I think he lacked a
doesn't
lot
have
of
in real
respect. Yes, exactly. It was cool when Nicolas Cage, because he knew how Peter Lasseter and how Alan were. He just said, like, Alan, you're a very active guy. I wouldn't be surprised if you drank 16 Diet Cokes in a day.
Jesus.
You're an excellent father, but you feel guilty that you're not home that often. You drink bourbon, but you offer your clients scotch. And then even Peter's like, he definitely has your number.
What's weird is he says he doesn't spend time with his kids, but based on his office, it looks like his kids are at his office a lot.
Yeah, but I think that's because his wife decorated that office.
But all of it looked used. Like, that's why it was all scattered all over the place.
I wouldn't be surprised if the wife and kids visit the office often so that he could knock two birds with one stone, right?
But he doesn't spend time. I don't know. Maybe this world he does spend time with them.
Who knows?
Because in the other world he doesn't. He's over here working on Christmas Eve until 8:30 and shit like that. So, but I'm just glad. I'm glad that Alan, finds himself.
That whole scene though was impressive, like how Nicolas Cage does get up for water and just says like, "Give me this job."
He's an inherently good salesman, right? Doesn't matter if you're selling tires, stocks, candy or booze or meth. It's all sales.
He knows how to talk the person up. He knows how to talk himself up.
Yeah.
Which is good. But you could see the fucking heartbreak when he does get transported back to his bachelor life.
Yeah, because he's finally understanding and liking the other life that he has, right? He finally gets that opportunity to understand why that kind of a lifestyle is important. Because I think it's not that he is jaded in the beginning of the movie. It's that he doesn't even think about that kind of lifestyle and what that could be, what kind of decision or what kind of life he could have had based on those decisions.
Yeah.
And so now that he has that hindsight when he comes back, he hates where he has. He wishes he could go back to what he's got.
Which is why I think that's all Don Cheadle wanted to give him, was more perspective. Not that one is right, not that one is wrong, but before you think that this is the life, let me show you what you could have had.
Of course. And so he tracks down Kate, who is, it's the same side on the other side of the coin, though. It's now been 13 years. She's moved on. She's created this whole life for her and her whole business. She's on her way to Paris today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he shows up and she's like, "Hey, I called you just because I wanted to give you, I have one box of your stuff left. I just want to give this shit to you and then I'm off." And
he is just starstruck. He is speechless just looking at.
He just spent at least 4 months in that lifestyle with her, married, with kids in the house and all that shit.
Yeah, dude. Can you imagine looking at this person that you love, that you're so familiar with, and looking at her and they are just they're a stranger again?
Yeah, they don't know. It's just he doesn't have that, they don't have that history anymore, And so he wants to take her to coffee just to have an opportunity to talk to her and stuff. And he's acting, again, very scary. Big red flag.
He's looking like a stalker.
If somebody shows up in your life after 13 years of not being around, it's fine. Yeah, you want to give him the box? That's fine. That's actually that was a normal interaction. But he shows up at the airport.
Well, even before that, it got weird when he says, "Are you married?" She's like,
again,
"No, I've never been married, Jack. How about you?"
I don't think that is a weird question. I think that's
As a question number 2? Second question.
No, I don't.
He says like, "Hi, Kate.
Hey, yeah, are you
married?"
Yeah, because clearly, are you married? What are you doing? Like, I chalk that one up to being
maybe it was his delivery.
Yes, because it is very like, "Are you married?
Are you married?"
Yeah, I would have played it a little bit cooler, been like, "So how's your husband?"
Yeah.
See. Mm-hmm. So when he goes to the airport, he stops her from going through security. Again, pre 9/11, because he gets pretty close to the gate. Actually, I think they're at the gate technically. Mm-hmm. Calls her back and tells her, "Hey, I love you. And we should stay here. You
he
should
doesn't
stay
even
here."
say "I love you." He just says, "Just one cup of coffee, Kate. That's all I'm asking for." She's saying, "Jack, I've moved on.
Yeah, I
and
have
you
a
should
life.
too. I have closure. I was heartbroken, but I moved on."
It's been 13 years.
Which is like, okay, that's a logical response, Kate.
Of course, she's got her own life. She's got this business and everything going on that she's trying to take care of. She's not going to throw it all away from someone she hasn't spoken to in 13 years.
Yeah.
Especially somebody who broke her heart the last time she talked to her.
Yeah.
And then he saves it somehow by being like, "We got a house together. We have 2 kids. These are their names. This is what we do. This
is from a distance. He's yelling
screaming
this.
at this across the room.
Imagine being someone just trying to get to your fucking flight.
Especially if you're late.
Yeah,
Can
just
we
like,
get this going?
come on, like she can scan her ticket later.
So here is why I think Don Cheadle's the devil. Because Kate and him have good lives, great lives. And they made their decisions. They're happy with what they have going on. But then he goes in and puts this little seed of doubt in Nicolas Cage's life. And what happens then? Not only does it ruin his life, but now he's going on this adventure to ruin Kate's life as well. He shows up after 13 years, stops her from doing a job deal that probably was years in the making. He's uprooting her life all because he thinks he saw this dream that he had when they had kids. Insane. Insane.
I'm going to poke holes in everything you said. Because that's a very aggressive perspective. It's not a job deal. She already has the job, dude.
Oh, even more so.
She works at a firm in Paris. She could just get another flight. This is just the flight that she planned. She could move it around.
So I guess in my head, I'm seeing it as like, they can't just have that coffee and then start dating and start the family. They're already 13 years removed. The family and the stuff that they would be building together wouldn't be that family that he saw anyways.
Oh, it would be later. Yeah, for sure. It would be a different sperm that would impregnate the egg.
At the least.
So it wouldn't be Annie.
Different friends, different home, different economy. They now have to live through 9/11.
But imagine that lifetime. You want to at least try to salvage everything. If he saw...
But there's nothing to salvage. That lifetime doesn't exist.
Yeah, there's not... The only thing that still does
salvage.
exist from that lifetime is Kate.
And think about the pressure that he's putting on Kate now to live up to the Kate that he knew. Anytime she has a bad day or isn't feeling too hot and she's not living up to the level of Kate that he saw in that alternate universe, that's going to destroy her self-esteem.
She is a different person, for sure.
She's way harder now because she's not doing nonprofit.
She's not a suburban mom.
No, ma'am.
She is an independent woman.
And you know what? He's coming in being like, fuck all that. I'm going to make you my cum whore, fill you with babies, and we're going to live in Jersey. What kind of hell is that unless the devil put them in it?
Nope, I don't think so. I think you're playing devil's advocate right now because you know that realistically in the writing.
They're aliens.
Nope, no one's an alien.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle is an angel that was really just trying to shine some light on this situation. And like, you can't have what has already passed, but you could still... see what's up with Kate. You can still see what's good, homie.
So the metaphor of this film is, go ahead, call your ex.
Well, she called him first. You saw this opportunity. And
take the opportunity? That's going to get a lot of exes killed.
No.
You're right. Maybe I am taking this beautiful, lovely film and just painting red all over it because I'm a douche.
Yes, that's why I'm getting slightly defensive because I love this movie.
And I don't want this to come off as me not because I really love this film too, and I really love like the wittiness of it, the love, the romance in this story. I love the way that it's told and the pacing of it. I just have these other questions that I wanted to get off my chest, but I do think this is maybe one of the best end of the 90s, early 2000s rom-coms before it became the rom-com of being like the Matthew McConaughey's stupid, over the top, silly comedies.
Yeah,
because this one isn't. I wouldn't even consider this like a rom-com. It has some very funny parts and has some parts that definitely make me laugh, but it's not a comedy. It's definitely like a romance and kind of like a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's a little more serious than a rom-com, right?
A rom-com, yeah, that we know of as now.
Because I think the jokes in here are really well written and the acting is good.
I want to say that the jokes aren't jokes written in. They're like things that people would say.
That's
in
why.
That moment. They're very comfortable. Even when the little girl is saying stuff, it's very. I could see a little girl saying that stuff, and it's the acting, the way it's delivered it's right
impeccable.
on the moment.
Well, I mean, let's take Jeremy Piven's character for instance. When Nicolas Cage is crossed with the opportunity to have an affair with the other woman,
yes,
he says, "Hey, can you write down her address right now?" And then Jeremy Piven's like, "You're fucking around, right?"
Well, because Jeremy Piven was gonna have an infidelity thing.
Yeah,
and
with his
Nick Cage stopped him.
Yeah, with his kid's therapist or some shit like that.
Speech therapist.
And so
he's like, I can't let you do that.
I can't.
And as friends, I feel like that's something that like as friends, that's what kind of
you're supposed to say.
He'd be like, I that's when he tells him every man in the world would give his left nut to be with Kate, and you're gonna throw this all fucking away for the slut in the neighborhood. Yeah. She's a slut.
Yo, she's definitely just throwing herself around.
Yeah, Nick Cage isn't the first one she's throwing.
She straight up says, "Well, let's just say, Jack, when I know you're gonna be at a party.
Oh, I don't wear strapless for my husband.
I don't choose to go strapless just because he likes it."
That's when you go. That's like when you go to a party and they whisper, and they're like, "I'm not wearing any underwear."
And you're like, that's gross.
You should put some on.
No wonder it smells.
Which chair were you sitting in?
Yeah, let's disinfect it immediately. Even like the finger foods at the party that she tries to feed him. The way she feeds him in the movie, like half her thumb goes in his mouth. And I don't know where that thumb's been. Excuse me, lady. I know it's pre-COVID, but Get your fucking hands out of my mouth. My wife is right there.
I don't have a G-spot back there.
Yeah, you definitely got it wrong. But like, Jeremy Piven he got upset. He
Yes.
got so upset he didn't even finish his beer. He walked away, and I was like, that is exactly like what a best friend would say to another person.
Does Jeremy Piven come back after that scene? Or did he ruin that friendship?
No, he comes back.
I think he ruined. I don't think he does.
He went to take a
think
piss.
The friendship is done. Like Jeremy Piven's so mad, so upset at him.
It is true. We never see him after that like that scene.
So he's ruining lives again. The devil is ruining lives.
No, Don Cheadle's not the devil.
Ruining friendships and relationships and
Because Don Cheadle made Nicolas Cage a better person.
yes, by
made-
destroying Kate's real life.
No, because what if it just made Kate's real life even better?
What happens after they get coffee?
They exchange numbers. Kate goes to Paris eventually. They have a long distance for a little bit.
Because you know what I also could see? They're both on top of their game, high level industry people.
Yep.
They could never get married and still like fly to go see each other and have like their bank sessions and be in love. You know what I mean?
They could still
Especially
do
at
that.
like from what I understand, I don't know, I'm not a CEO, but in all the movies and stuff that I see, usually if you're like Devil Wears Prada and you're like, Wolf of Wall Street, you could probably make that relationship
He
work.
could afford it, man.
Oh, they both could.
They're both single as hell.
Yeah. And no kids, so now you have all the money and more fun.
Yeah, and they could still choose to have.
A
I'm
house in
pretty
Paris,
sure
a
she's
house in
still
New
fertile.
York.
Yeah.
You know what? I like the way it ends. I think
could
it
work.
sets it up perfectly.
Well, the way it ends is the realistic ending where he still has everything that he had worked for, but now he has a different mindset. I think he's willing to sacrifice more to obtain something a little more wholesome.
Does he now give people Christmas Eve off? Like next year,
Yes.
he's giving people Christmas Eve
Yes.
off now. Okay.
He understands the importance of family because when we were watching this downstairs, and it was that scene where Don Cheadle was working at the convenience store and was breaking the news to him. Like, it's just a glimpse, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack even said, fuck this. Like, I'm going to go home to my kids. I'm going to go home to my wife. And you said, wow, he's a dad. He's a dad because that's what happened. And there is something within him that he had never experienced, being a parent, being a husband. That is stuff that goes deeper than the surface
Yeah, of
level.
course. Yeah.
Where you are willing to sacrifice your materialistic things to make it work. And he's going to sacrifice whatever it takes to be with Kate.
And now he gets it. Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to be like, well, I'm buying the suit. The kids be damned. Right? Which was his stance. I do also want to say she buys him the suit from a outlet store, but the suit she buys him is like a clown suit. It looks like the Riddler suit.
It's green.
It's vaguely green. It looks like the Riddler suit.
It looks like an old couch from the 90s.
It's definitely couch material.
And he wears that. It's so cute though, because you can tell he's like not super happy with it when he gets it. But she is excited. It is the
It's
world
the
to him.
anniversary present.
It is.
So it's confusion because of the anniversary, and also because he thinks based on the way this movie's told. That morning, the alarm goes off. She hits the alarm and says, "All right, like let's get started." He hops out of bed. He knows the schedule. He's feeding the dogs. He's getting the bottle ready. He's making the coffee. He's doing it. So in his head, he's like, I finally got this shit figured out. I'm good. Then he walks in and she's like, happy anniversary. And he just shits his pants.
He was
Fucking loses it.
he was on a good streak, man.
Isn't that how life is, though? I'm doing good. I got the bottle ready. I got the coffee ready. Boom.
Yep.
Happy anniversary,
You can
bitch.
tell he slept good too because he had major bedhead.
He's doing it all with his eyes closed.
He's just doing all this shit. Comes up to the bedroom. Happy anniversary.
And he gets this god-awful suit.
It's so messed. It's cute though because he wears it to their date.
It's beautiful.
And
Oh,
he,
it is.
He wears it when he drops off Peter Lassiter's car.
Yes.
to
Because that's
the
when he
building.
goes upstairs and does his little speech.
Yeah, and it's something cute, but I think that's like symbolism for like
How much he's grown.
I think how much he's grown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's the middle. It's the middle ground for like I'm still a man in a suit. I still am this Jack Campbell from the Bachelor universe, but I am willing
The
to
Bachelorverse.
make the Bachelorverse. I'm willing to make the sacrifice for my family.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Can I try and guess
What?
who your best person? You're giving this a 5 out of 5. I'm sure you are.
20 out of 5.
Yes, that's not how scales work, but sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Tia Leone? Are you giving it to her? Because I feel like they're both, her and Nicolas Cage are doing incredible
That's a
acting.
great
They're
guess.
both giving some top of their list best acting jobs. But for me, and maybe I'm like kind of like using my own knowledge or my own influence to it to make my choice. But I think like I have a tough time picking between the two because they're both doing so much. My jokey poke hole joke questions out of the way. They're acting up a storm. They're reacting the way a person would react. They're speaking and being truthful in every motivation with every word that they're speaking. It's definitely,
it's really, they're good with each other. The way they're bouncing off of each other.
Yes, yeah.
The way you see her react when she goes from an extremely happy wife who's expecting her anniversary gift to like devastation to like, who is this man in my bedroom, right?
Who is this man?
And to see his acting chops when he's watching the home video of himself being like, he starts off by like, oh no, when he sees his friend start playing the piano.
He's like, not this hacky
He's just like,
thing.
It's hack. And then halfway he sees how happy it makes Téa Leoni.
Because he's not a good singer.
No.
Yeah.
But he's like, the fucking commitment behind it is, and you see Nicolas Cage's eyes just kind of like start to well up a bit as he's watching, like, this is the kind of effect that I could have on people. This is, and like why I say this makes me a better person, this movie, is like I think about all the stupid little fights that I've had with Melissa, or like what am I fucking why am I putting any tension into this relationship when I have it all? I was thinking like even prior to like watching this, like conversations that I've had with myself, this has been a tough year, conversations that I've had with myself this entire year is like, what is holding me back from being at my fullest potential? I feel like I haven't done everything with my singing, with like my with comedy, with all this stuff, and like I've felt like I don't have enough in some sections. But watching this movie makes me feel like I have it all because now like it's like, oh, this is why one of the American dreams is to have that white picket fence with someone. You
the
have
nuclear family. Yep.
With with just like a regular job in a suburban neighborhood, and that is everything.
Yeah.
I was watching this. So you're watching Love is Blind, right? Mm-hmm. In season 2, there's this. I know it's a stupid fucking reference, but in season 2, there's this couple. They ask like, "How's married life?" And she says, "You know what's beautiful is that you can plan a trip over a year from now, and you know who you're going with. You know who you're gonna be with 2 years from now." And that is a fucking beautiful thing. Sure. I want to start recording home videos so that I can look back at it the way that Jack Campbell was looking back at it and be like, oh, fuck, that's right. I sing to Melissa. I'm this guy.
You got to have someone else do it, though, because otherwise you're not going to be on it. If you're the one recording.
That's going to be you.
Yeah. Otis.
Otis. Yes.
Otis?
Otis.
Stop kissing me.
This movie's so good to me.
So who is your best person then?
It's going to have to, it's between Jack and Kate, man. I can't.
Maybe we give it to both of them.
Yeah, to both of them, dude.
Because Nicolas Cage is always gonna, steal the scene. Mm-hmm. But Téa Leoni's stand up right there next to him.
Yeah, reacting to his acting. Yes.
Hey, acting is reacting, bro.
If there's anything we learned from
only thing I learned in drama class, acting is reacting, and get out of the girls' locker room.
What? What do you rate this?
I'm giving it a 5 out of 5.
Woo!
This is a great film.
Yes.
This is a great, like, really under the radar film that, could have easily been missed, but really should, Mm-hmm. I remember the cover. I remember seeing it at Hollywood Video.
Yeah, it's just him, like, standing, looking at the city with holding a suitcase or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I own the DVD, which is why I watched this a bunch. And it was something that I would throw on every holiday season.
I bet you did.
Even though it's not really
I watched
Christmas
like
movie.
Elf and stuff like that, but you watch this, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one. And I think it does a better way of retelling these classic stories, It's a Wonderful Life and Christmas Carol, without going too deep into it, like Scrooged, right?
Yeah.
Which is a great film, and I love Bill Murray, and I think it's, but, without literally redoing it, this is a great way of being just a touch.
Yeah. Here, let's just show you what your life could have been to make you a better person.
Or ruin Kate's life.
You still really are hanging on to that hypothetical that her life is just ruined.
She had such a great life before he showed up at that airport.
She might go back to working nonprofit, which is a great thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's made the money. She clearly makes a lot of money. That's what she said.
Yeah, she does. All right. Any honorable mentions? Any like scenes that you want to touch up on?
Honorable mention on the little girl? I mean...
Annie.
we hit all the scenes that I got all the questions off my chest. I feel pretty good about
That's
this.
good. All right. Don Cheadle's an angel. And there are no aliens in this movie. I hate to break it to you, pal.
Look, angel devil thing aside,
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what was said and what was written in the scripts. Aliens.
Yes.
And again, I'm currently in a script writing class.
Yep.
And the major thing that they're teaching us is nothing is in the script unless it's important. So I'm just saying they didn't ever bring up devil or angel. What they did bring up,
Aliens.
I'm just saying.
You
I'll
know,
leave it at that.
I knew we were going to spend like a
Leave it
hefty
at that.
part of this episode talking about, all right, Don Cheadle. I know we're all thinking he's an angel. The guy is for sure the devil.
Alien. I honestly, jokingly, funny me wants to think that he's the devil. But the film mind in me, I have to say, based on the facts, alien. I have to go by the words they said.
The Family Man starring Nicolas Cage. Rom-com or sci-fi?
That's why it's not super funny. It's because they had to figure out how to make the sci-fi action work.
What if at the end of the movie, after he has coffee,
He just gets abducted.
boop, 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 boop.
Don Cheadle comes down in yet another outfit and like,
Yeah.
you've passed the test. That's my Don Cheadle voice, by the way.
You've passed the test, homie. Because that's how he talks in this movie.
Only in the I guess throughout all of it. Yeah,
Yeah, through all of it.
I did like rich Don Cheadle.
Rich Don Cheadle was dope. He was just like, yo,
All of
Jack.
his looks were good. Even store clerk.
Yeah, he was wearing that store clerk shirt pretty well.
I'd go to that bodega all the time just because I like him.
I would like to chop it up with him.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what's new, man?
Hey man, how you been? What's up?
Yeah.
Did you get that dog fixed?
Did you get that dog fixed?
Yeah.
Oh, fixed as in neutered. I was like,
what did you think?
well, when
It's
people,
leaking.
yeah, like you're treating it like a machine. Hey, so did you put that WD-40 on that dog yet?
Sprayed it right in his mouth.
Nice. Stopped him
died.
from barking, and he's also dead. So yeah, the problem's fixed.
My neighbors will not complain.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, so crazy.
right. Love this movie.
What is this? This is coming out after Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Okay. But it will be December.
it will be December when this comes out. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So I just want to tell everybody for Christmas this year, instead of buying gifts for people or whatever, here's what I want you guys to do. Tell one cousin about this podcast.
Cousin.
Whoever your coolest cousin is, tell that person about this podcast. And, maybe that'll help our numbers.
And if you don't have a first cousin because your parents are only children,
Yeah.
tell
Aunties,
your second cousin.
uncles, second cousins.
Tell someone that's blood related to you.
Yeah. It's just
Tell a blood.
A family member or a blood.
Tell a blood or a crip.
Yeah.
Because
Just, honestly, tell anybody.
If there's anyone that needs to see what their life could have been if they went the more wholesome route,
yeah.
it could be fucking gangbangers,
So,
dude.
alcoholics, homeless people who are down on their luck. Like, you know what?
Watch
Do
the
you have
Family Man.
regrets? Do you wish you could meet Don Cheadle?
Do you like Don Cheadle?
Yeah. Why? What do you mean?
Yeah, Don Cheadle just is a trustable guy.
Yeah.
I think he's like amongst both square white men and Latino or brown gangbangers, man. He'd be like, I like Don Cheadle. I like them in that Captain America or Captain Planet.
I like that it's Latino gangbangers. I like the hey Holmes, you see that Don Cheadle movie, bros? I don't think so, man.
All right, let's
that's
get the
good.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, we got a turkey downstairs we got to cut into.
Yeah, happy holidays, baddies.
Yeah. Hanukkah should be coming up pretty soon.
Whatever you
Kwanzaa will
celebrate.
be going on at the end of the month. Merry Christmas, of course, to everybody.
Yeah, it's up to you if you want to celebrate it,
Yeah,
depending
happy
on your
winter
beliefs.
solstice if you're a pagan. Yeah,
Whatever you want to do, but it's just a time for some
keep
loving.
it to yourself.
Stay warm.
Definitely. Eat
Lock
good.
your cars because
People are sleeping in them.
people are breaking into them. Boy,
Well, it doesn't matter if they're locked or not. Then
yeah, you're right. Yeah, never mind. Just parking.
do the cousin thing that we said though. Definitely do the cousin thing.
Yeah.
5 stars on iTunes, please.
Yeah, rate, subscribe everywhere you listen. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and send it to a friend. Tell a friend of a friend.
You got to say smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe
I
button.
don't know what I have.
I want to start off every episode just saying smash.
Welcome back to the Smash Show.
Yo.
We smash things. Rest in peace, Gallagher. Honestly, that's the sad part. And also, rest in peace, Jason David Frank. You were my honest hero growing up. I loved you. You're the reason why I like the color green. May you rest in peace, Jason David Frank.
Rest in peace to everyone that needs to rest peacefully.
Yes, guys. And if you need help, ask for help.
Yes. Holiday
Listen to that
seasons.
Logic song.
What's the Logic song?
I don't know. The one about suicide. I don't know.
Say bye.
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 Can't be that bad, oh, it can't be that bad, oh, it can't be that bad, oh, it can't be that bad, oh. that bad.